Moose is in the house. Moose is in the house. Watch out. Watch out. Here's Moosey.
Hey all, how's it going? Hope you're doing fantastic. I'm doing okay. I look real greasy. Why do I look so greasy? Let's fix the camera or the now it's super dark. Now I'm brooding. I'm brooding and greasy. What the fuck? Fix my lighting a little bit. Hope you guys been good. I know I didn't get to stream much. I was super sick this week. Still pretty sick right now, but we're making it happen. We're living the dream. Give me 1 second. I just redid a bunch of my stream stuff. My hair is still wet from being out of the shower. That's what the problem is. That's why I look so greasy. Hold on. So today we are doing a couple of interesting things. I am streaming to YouTube shorts just to see what it's like. But I'm having some trouble with YouTube right now. Let's just do this. Save. Give me 1 second, guys. I got a couple of things I got to set up here. How was everyone's week? I didn't get to talk to anybody like all week because, you know, I was sick. I had some work and all that shit. But yeah, my YouTube right now is kind of shit in the bed. There we go. We got a better thumbnail now at least. I had to make a thumbnail in like 10 seconds. We just did it. We're good. Yeah, I don't know. How'd you guys do? Got out of Mexico just in time for everything to pop off in the craziest way possible. We survived though. While we're doing this, let me adjust some of my camera settings real quick. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Makes me look like an actual human being. I still look sweaty as hell, but just because I had a hot shower. Oh, yeah. I hope everyone's been good though. I've been good. God, Mexico was so nice. I've never been to like a resort before, so it's bougie as hell. But you know, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was, at least. I think I'm good to go. I think we're good to get it started. I'm curious to see what this looks like on. Okay, yeah, short or what do you call it? The YouTube Shorts look is horrendous, but it is what it is. Let's see what it looks like once I start the camera going. Here, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just doing BRB so I can set up the camera without showing you guys my gnarly desk and all that. I'm not actually BRBing. I just I don't even need to do that. I can set up studio mode. 1 sec. But I do have to. Okay. All right, I'm back. I can take studio mode off. Let me get rid of the Deluxe Cup logo real quick. Where is that at? I have so many sources. I literally don't even know where this is. What is this called? I'm gonna put on some music too, so don't stress about it. I know you're stressing about it already. Image 3. Yeah, there we go. All right. What a gnarly desk. Yeah, I have a. I'm gonna get the cards graded. No, man, there's no way any of that shit's worth anything. But this is just a basic IKEA desk. It is only here because the thought of moving it is unbelievably off-putting. But we got this. We got a box of Monster Farm battle cards. I should probably start recording this. Also, yeah, like I think chat is working properly, but I don't actually know. I like legitimately don't know if chat's working properly because I just had to redo a whole bunch of my settings to get vertical working today. Super annoying. It should be better in the future, but today was a day where it started off being real short in terms of like what I thought the setup was going to be, and then turned out I had a bunch of like last minute chores and shit that popped up, and it was like, I should probably do this, I should probably do this, I should probably be, you know, an adult and get some stuff out of the way. And then all of a sudden, nothing was working on stream, and then I kind of panicked to get everything together at the last minute. Tomorrow I'm going to spend a little bit more time getting it good to go. The stream's not frozen. My hands are here. We're doing it. But yeah, I do not have like a pack opening channel. That's not what I do. I do not have the camera for it. I apologize if, you know, it's not great. Here, let me see. There you go. So that's in the right spot. Kinda. Setup is totally fine. We're ripping packs. I should do that thing where I'm like, wow, this costs like, put like the price, but the prices are all made up because this doesn't have like an actual, what do you call it? Like, there's no actual not viewer, but there's no market for it. Nobody knows what anything costs. It's all bullshit. DZF Arc. Who knows more about their game? Me about Monster Rancher or DZF about Yu-Gi-Oh? I think there's more to know about Yu-Gi-Oh, but I think I'm, you know, it's a lower cap for me, but I think my knowledge is probably at the peak. What are the hits? So this is legit Series 1 box. This is from 1999. The monsters you see on the box here are the only monsters in the game at this point in time. There were 3 more expansions that came out after, and none of those are in this. So all of these monsters were available in starter decks. One sec. We got 2 of them right here. We've looked at these earlier on the stream. So, you know, the way Monster Rancher Battle Card works is that you get 3 monsters. I'm sorry, I'm trying to line this up with I'm supposed to be able to stream to 2 streams simultaneously on YouTube, and it's not working properly. So what I'm doing is I'm using this new feature that YouTube has where it automatically makes a vertical video out of whatever you're streaming, and I don't think there's like any sort of intelligent or like even, you know, AI involved in it. I think it just literally takes a middle section of whatever you're streaming. So it's super fucking obnoxious. Monster Rancher is a constant? Yeah, that's true. I learned all there is to learn, and there's no more to learn. Didn't know Monster Rancher was a card game? Yeah. So basically, the way this game works, I was explaining and I cut myself off. If you're new to the stream, I'm going to do that 1,000 more times before the stream is over. That's what I do. Monster Rancher is like a hero card game. You have 3 monsters, and then they have action cards, and your goal is to KO your opponent, and like KO all 3 of their monsters. And you know, if you're able to take out a monster really quickly, then there's just a ton of dead cards in their deck. There's it's really fun. We play competitively. We've had a couple of tournaments for money. Been super cool. Really enjoyed it. That's why you're not seeing all of YouTube chat. Yeah, YouTube chat it's probably because I had to redo some of my permissions. Don't worry, I can still see you. I can still read the comments. They're just not popping up. Because I see... Yeah, I probably have to change browser source, yeah. It's fine. It's a thing for tomorrow. I'll figure it out tomorrow. I don't want to do it while I'm messing around live. Monster Rancher cards were made during the 1-2 era. The mechanic sounds weirdly proto-Evo. Yeah, they were made when Monster Rancher was in its heyday, i.e. Right at the start of Monster Rancher 2. Someone selling a full set of these cards on eBay for 10 grand? Yeah, alright, man. Hey, Lids. Appreciate that. But yeah, so before we hop into the box, let me show you what's going on. You always got to be prepared. You got to do a little bit of work before you hop into the box, you know. But these are going to be all in Japanese, by the way. It was never localized. It is what it is. But yeah, so this is a Golem, Pixie, and Naga deck. So you can see it's like, oh, Naga can use this card. He attacks, he does 2 damage. It costs 3 guts. And then there are the 3 monsters at the end. These cards are notoriously flimsy. Like, they are... Like... They feel like playing cards. Like when you buy like a pack of like plastic playing cards, they are paper, but they have that kind of like laminate feel. They're very, very thin compared to like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon cards or anything like that. Not super good. Let's get that foil Moo. Sorry, I dropped the card and it took like 10 seconds to get it off the floor. So all of these cards here, all of these cards that are in here are just from the starter deck. If you wanted these cards, you had to get the starter deck. None of these will appear in the box. Not all of Golem, Naga, and Pixie's attack cards, defense cards, and all of that are in the starter deck. So if you wanted to get like the really strong stuff, you needed to buy the booster packs to like pump up your set. So you cast attacks, or each card a monster. Yeah. So basically, the game is interesting because you always draw till you have a full hand. You draw till you have 5 cards in hand, and then at the end of your turn, you dump cards, and then the amount of cards you dumped is like your resource. That's how much you can spend in your next turn, and then each monster can act up to 1 time per turn, and it's super fun. It's very cool. Never thought playing Monster Rancher Battle Card on Game Boy a lot as a kid would be useful, but the starter deck stuff is the stuff you know. Yeah. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is set 1. There were 3 more sets. I know in the later sets, they started putting more monsters in the actual booster packs. I don't know if it's possible to get monsters in this. I think you can get mixed breed monsters, but I don't know if you can get like the purebreds. I don't think you can. I think you need to buy boosters. So the one I'm missing right now is the speed deck, which is Mochi, Dino, and Hair. I don't have that one, but I'm gonna find it. They're cheap. This isn't even like oh, you need to spend like thousands of dollars to get these cards. One, we play on Tabletop Simulator. And then, so you don't even need to worry about it. It's free. It's free real estate, Jim Bowie. And then, two, the actual starter decks are like $10. They're super cheap. It's the holographic, like one-off mixed breed monsters or whatever that are expensive. Like this guy. We got ourselves a Hollow Moo. He just sits on my desk. He chills. I'm going to show you an example of cards we could get. Type of cards we could get. And then we'll go through it. So I have a whole bunch of cards here. So like, for example, this is Naga's World Blow Attack. It's a holographic attack card. You can't get this in the starter pack. So you would have to get it from a booster. I recently, like 2 years ago, I bought a couple of boosters, and we opened them on stream, and it was kind of cool. But now we're going to do it with a whole ass box. Yeah, we got the Evil Moo. Monsters rule. I think in later sets, any card could be holographic. In this, it was specific cards were holographic cards. And everything else was a common. I'm kind of like going through this off stream here, but yeah, like Pixie's Kick, that's not in the deck. Pixie's Charge isn't in the deck. Yeah. But anyway, I have two mixed breed cards. They came in a pack with Moo. I got Shell Dino, and I have Mum Mew. You may remember from the anime. This dude's bald as hell. What's up with that? But yeah, a lot of the cards are the sparkles on them are real neat. Like I like the Suazo, the sparkly Suazo. Those starter decks, 1-to-1 same cards as the decks in the Game Boy game. It's not the same as the decks, but the cards are, yeah. So this is set 1. Set 1 was what you played with in the Game Boy game. And then set 2 came out, and then to promote set 3 coming out, they put out a Monster Rancher Battle Card Episode 2. That's the one that was on PlayStation 1. Any banned cards? Yes, there's one banned card in play. It's called, what's it called? Something Bind. But basically, it's a card where you call a card. So you play it, and then you say, I bet you have this defense card. And if your opponent has that, then they discard it. And it's obnoxious because defense is already really weak. Like, hyper aggro is extremely strong in this game. And you know what card they're going to have in their hand if they have it. Like, there's only so many good cards. Like, there's only a couple hundred cards in the game. So it's basically a I get to kill a guy for free card. So we banned that. It was only a promo. It came out with the Japanese version of Monster Rancher Advance. If you bought that, you could get it. It's the only card that has Antland on it. Antland's not in this game. I got dust. Blech. But it had Antland on it, and it actually had a code to get a special monster on the card in Monster Rancher Advance 1. So, you know, kind of cool cross promo there. But I think we're going to get into it. I'm still looking at the YouTube shorts to make sure this is working. Okay. Let's see what we got to do to open this. Okay, so all the packs are in here. I don't want to break this bit off because, you know, I think there's no point. But if it were to be displayed, like this would break off and then the cards would sit nicely. You've seen card displays. Why am I explaining this? Okay, what? I was told 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I was told there was 10 packs in this. It does say there's 15. I probably should have read. But, you know, I don't know Japanese, so it did not come to my attention immediately. There is a... Is this 147? Is this the 147th box of these they made? I don't know what that means. It might just be like a batch. It's It's probably batch 147 and they made like 10,000 of them. But that's really cool because I bought these under the assumption that I was buying a box of 10 and I spent $100 on it and I got 50% more than I bargained for. So that's kind of cool. Can't be upset about that. All right. Let's see what we got. I don't know how to rip packs. Like I've watched some pack ripping channels, and I don't know if it's just these packs, but like they don't rip nicely. It's got this little thing here though, so maybe that's what they expected you to do. Okay, that's it. Come on. Try not to damage the cards immediately. Package is more sturdy than the cards. Okay, I forget. Is it the first card is the promo? No. Okay, so we got Golem. We got Clutch, Licking, Teleport, Kick. Was that Windmill Throw or something? This one is if you damage them, they can't attack again. Naga Charge, Blizzard, Poison Gas. Okay. And trainer cards were like the rare picks if you didn't get anything holographic. So Dodge that's a really nice card. If I was playing competitively with these in real life, my deck would probably have like 2 of those in it. So Monster Rancher is a game where there is power creep, but it's like bizarre. The cards that got power crept were like already really bad, and they just became like, it was like, we made something that was better than than the card that already sucked. Trying to look up the rares right now. I guess they're all kind of rare these days. Yeah. Dust Kick, Lightning, the Punch. Hey, we got Cyclone. One of the most expensive cards in the game to play, costs 8, which is like, imagine having to dump 8 cards from your hand when you can have a maximum hand size of 5. Does 4 damage to everybody, which is like pretty oppressive. I can get behind that type of power creep. Yeah, and the thing about Monster Rancher is, especially if you played the game before, this will make more sense. If you haven't played the game, I'll have to explain it a little bit. I have an entire video on how to play Monster Rancher Battle Card, if you're interested. And I made it because I was starting tournaments for the game, and we were playing in Tabletop Simulator, and I wanted to get more people up to speed, so it wasn't just like me and one other guy like kind of rolling everybody. It is still kind of how it happened, but how many games does this set cover? It's basically Monster Rancher 1 monsters plus Mochi. This was one of the like many things they did to promote Monster Rancher 2 when it first came out. But yeah. The thing that's like interesting about this game is like you got Golem and you got Tiger, right? In a Monster Rancher, you can crossbreed monsters, like in the actual PlayStation games. Excuse me. So if you have a Golem with a Tiger subbreed, his name is Big Blue, he can use Golem's attack cards and Tiger's defense cards. So he becomes a really powerful attacker with like really cost-effective dodging. The offset is that he has much lower life than a normal Golem does, but, you know, instead of being a big tank, he's a lot more, like, maneuverable and svelte. And the nice thing about having these, like, mixed breed cards in your deck is that, say I had a Golem, a Tiger, and a Big Blue. So, Golem, Tiger, and then the combination of Golem and Tiger. I, at that point, only have to play Golem and Tiger cards and Golem and Tiger defense cards. I don't need a third monster. Because Big Blue can use the Tiger defense cards, Big Blue can use the Golem attack cards, and then only Golem has to worry about using his cards and Tiger has to worry about using his cards. You can even get more complicated than that, or like simplified, I suppose, if you have 3 things that all share a Tiger subtype. Then you only have to have Tiger defense cards. And so a thing that they use to kind of counteract power creep in the later sets is that the last set of cards, which if you've only ever played the PlayStation or the Game Boy games, you've never actually seen, has Arrowhead, Metalner, Centaur, Color Pandora, and Joker. The thing that kind of reels in these cards, which are otherwise like obscenely powerful, with the exception of Metalner, who sucks ass for some reason. He's just unbelievably shit. I don't know why. I don't know why he's so bad. He's like second worst card in the game. Naga is like a hard worst. It's embarrassing how bad Naga is. But they did a couple of things to make him better. One was they gave him a Tiger subbreed in one of the later packs, so Naga no longer has to rely on his worst in the game defense cards. He can now, rely on Tiger's pretty good defense cards. And like I was saying, all these other monsters that they introduced don't mix with any other monster. So with the exception of there's a Mochi Joker, but like Arrowhead and Centaur do just obscene amounts of damage. They both have incredible cost efficiency on the damage they do. But because you can't combine them with anything else in the game, you are dedicating a ton of cards to Centaur or to Arrowhead just to have them be like functional in the deck. So they become a lot less consistent. They're strong, but they're not consistent. And that's kind of an interesting way for them to keep things in check, I think. Yusaba top tier in the game? Yusaba is top tier in the game. Yusaba is one of the top 3 monsters in the entire game, even in competitive play. Hey, we got Sonic Move. That's sick. That's a good card. Cool. So I'm liking that. I'm going to put all the rares in a pile here. I'm looking at these in terms of like how good are they in the actual card game, because there's no real read on like how expensive any of this shit is. There's no like chase cards really. Cyclone, kind of a crappy attack. There's ways to make it cheaper, but you can cheat it a little bit, but not too much. And then Dodge or whatever, I forget what it I think it's just called Dodge, is a pretty good card. There's so many viable strategies and some of the best opponents never attack you. Yeah, it's a really fun game. And then in competitive play, there is a tier 0 deck. What mean? I don't know what that means. What are the rare cards and what determines them? So in this first set, what we're pulling for the most part are just monster skill cards. That's just the way it worked. I'm not sure. I think you could. I think you can if you get really... I don't know. I don't want to do any misinformation here. I think you might be able to get mixed breed out of this, and then those would be like the chase cards if you could get them. But, and give me 1 second. Later on, they had these packs where it's like, this is a pack that gets you Moo, gets you Mum Mew, and gets you Shell Dino, which were the cards I showed earlier. So this was like a booster pack for mixed breeds. It was guaranteed that these were the monsters you were going to get. And I don't know if they did this for every single monster in the game, for every single mixed breed, or if you could pull them from random packs. I'm not sure. So maybe we'll get really lucky. We'll see a surprise. I bought like 5 packs or 10 packs a while ago, and I didn't see a single one. So I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get something cool. Okay, Suezo's Beam. Dust Slap's pretty good. We've gotten like 3 of this card already. Is this full body? Or no, Leap Kick. Full body was added later. Leap Kick is they can't dodge the attack. Very good. Tactics. Tactics is one of the worst cards in the game until very late in the set. They introduced a bunch of cards late game that make, or late in the run of the cards, that makes this like kind of funny. Tactics is you get to just pull a card from the discard pile. It's extremely expensive for that, but combined with Suezo's Yodel, which lets you skip your opponent's turn, there is a card that lets you play these types of cards. These are like special effect cards. They're not attacks, they're not defense, they're called special. That lets you play special cards for free. So basically you get to play Yodel and then get it back from the discard pile for free. And so you basically, Yodel's what, 4 or 5 cost? I think it's 4 cost. And so you would skip their turn, you would get it back from the discard pile, and then you would skip their turn, and you get it back from the discard pile. You get to go like 3 turns in a row. So you could just dump your hand, get a shit ton of guts, and then just nuke them in 1 turn. Maybe you've already answered about what Moo's subtype, what cards can he use. So Moo is a special card in the sense that he is, hold on, why is it not focusing? He's sub XXX. He's the question mark breed. So basically this card works the same way as a purebred dragon does. It basically allows you to have 2 purebred dragons in your deck. There are cards that are like do extra damage or whatever against cards that are not purebred. We got eugenics cards in this game. And so this is effectively worse dragon. It's a dragon that can be targeted by more things. But, you know, the difference is that if I can have 2 dragons in my deck, then my deck becomes very consistent because I can have fewer types of cards. So no incentive to get Moo over Dragon. There would be no incentive to run only Moo over Dragon. No. Not competitively, at least. The reason you would use Moo is if you want 2 purebred dragons in your deck. The game lets you do that. There's also Gentle Mochi, which is Mochi wearing the butler costume. And it's the same thing. If you want to have 2 purebred Mochis in your deck, you can do it like that. And that's actually like a pretty consistent and powerful deck, is running 2 Mochis like that, because Mochi is one of the best cards in the game. I run a deck with Moo in the sideboard, and the next tournament I do, I'm probably going to run my Dragon deck because I found out a pretty fun way to run Dragon, and Dragon was considered like not particularly good for a long time, so it's nice that you know, I figured something out. Hey, Evil Blow. Shit does a ton of damage, and if they dodge it, it does half damage. Galley's not a very good card in the game. Unfortunately, his attacks are pretty awful. But if you wanted a big intelligence type tank or a big intelligence type nuker, like a intelligence golem, basically, you know, you got Galley. You have a list of holographic cards I want to collect? I know other people have listed them, but it gets complicated because in the original set, only specific cards I believe could be holographic, and then later on, in later sets, they basically made it so any card could be holographic. So it's not, the answer is all of them, unfortunately. But finding packs that aren't from set 1 is a lot more difficult. I see set 1 packs pop up all the time. Whenever I see like a set 2 or 3 or 4, it's always like $50, and then nobody buys it. It just stays like unbought for, I don't know, 10 years. There's plenty of eBay listings that have been like that for literally a decade. Oh, I ruined it. Encourage is everything costs 1 less? Or is it trainer cards specifically cost 1 less? No, I think it's everything costs 1 less. I ruined it. Computing. We got a smooch. I love the art on this one. I'm sorry. I'll show it to YouTube. I got to be further over here. Yeah. YouTube doesn't know what it's doing. Let me move this. I don't want to... who cares? If you're watching it on Shorts, I apologize. You can watch the real stream. Played tons of hours of Monster Hunter Battle Card Episode 2 on PlayStation. Love this game. It's pretty sick. The game is kind of dumb in retrospect. Like, the way it, I get Smooch blinged out into a necklace. It already looks blingy. It looks like a MySpace profile. Like, the game has a lot of, like, really awful shortcomings. Like, for example, you can't play multiplayer. Like, you can't play against your friends. They didn't know how to, like, hide your hand or anything. And they didn't want to do, like, a, what do you call it? Like a Digimon digital card battle where the cards are visible and therefore you can play against other people. How's Mexico trip? Post pics? You just got to follow Bacon on Instagram. Everything's on Instagram. All right. Hide. A lot of the same cards. Death Trap. This lets Naga play as many attacks in one turn as he wants. Cool in theory. Doesn't really work because all of Naga's stuff is like super expensive and doesn't do any damage. Knee kick, big damage. Hey, hot battle. Everything does 1 more damage. Very cool. Also, if you see me like bending the cards like this, I'm not like ruining it. That's literally like the card is so flimsy. It's so thin. That's just what it is. They didn't give Naga its gun like in the show. I know. The snake with the gat. Okay. We run through a bunch of packs already, but a bunch of these I don't have yet, so it's nice. Most of like these cards I've already got, all of them. I think I'm missing a couple, but I've got most of them. Charge? I don't think I had charge. Flying Mask. Okay. Another one. They should have given Naga his gun. What were they so afraid of? Also, I have a couple of these packages saved in like pristine condition that I like cut open very, very carefully. So I'm throwing the rest of this shit out, but I've got a couple preserved for the sake of it. The villains in the show are pretty dark for a kid's show. You should watch the Japanese version, man. They cut so much stuff out of the English version. Most of the violence and stuff is gone from what we got in the West. Where's my Zilla cards at? In set 3. Unfortunately. We will not be getting any Zilla cards. It's from a completely different set. We got Roar. Okay, new card. Hey! Excited. This is what? Excited is intelligence cards do 2 less damage. For those of you who can read Japanese, hell yeah. All right, we still got how many more to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're about halfway. Tiger's Roar is such cute art. I know. Okay. Mochi, Suezo, Golem. Getting a lot of the same. Press, new card. Press is a really good card in competitive play. 5 damage for 3 cost is a extremely good ramp. It's just he does a little bit of recoil damage. He does 1 damage to himself or 2 damage to himself? 1 damage to himself. If you're using it. Blizzard again. Another Sonic move. Okay. Sonic move. That's cool, though. I didn't have one, and now I got 2. You can read Japanese? Nope, I just know how to play the game. I have no idea. I was just looking for a number, and I saw the -1, and I'm like, yeah, he does 1 damage to himself. I knew he did damage, I just couldn't remember how much. I thought it was 2. Okay, another I-beam. Charge. Computing. Evil shot. Shotgun? Shotgun's cool. It does 3 damage, split however you want. Or is this lightning? This is lightning. Lightning can't be dodged. Or is this shotgun? This is shotgun. Yeah, it does 3 damage, split however you want among your opponent's monsters. Superhead, great. Hey, we got grit. That's cool. I have a grit already, but... Grit is if you take exact health damage to die, you don't die, you have 1 life. It can't be used at 1 life, though, so you can't just grit over and over again. It's kind of not great, but we used to think it was a lot worse than it is. I found some uses for it where it's super annoying. Okay, another evil bomb. It's a tail slap. Teleport, clutch, computing. Another lightning. That kick. W chop? Hell yeah, that's new for me. I don't have that yet. Big damage. Not very useful, but sick in the first battle card game for sure. Grit a bunch of times. What do you think this is? UKM arm. I think we changed, like we eroded it originally, so like you could just use it to stop yourself from dying the first time, and then we're like, oh, that's fine, and then it's like, no, that's like way too powerful. What's Bacon's Insta? It's Bacon the Doggers. It's the most millennial name it could possibly be. I now have a full playset of Cyclone. That's cool. I should try and make a deck out of what I have. And just see, like, try to make the best thing I can make. What would it be? It would probably be, out of these original cards, Hair Mochi. I don't have Hair Mochi, though. Oh, I can't do it. I've got Suezo. I make something work with Suezo, Golem, Tiger, probably. Suezo Golem Tiger could probably work. Alright, more hair. Another W chop, let's go. Oh, we got Cool Judge. Cool Judge is a fucked up card. There's environment cards you can play, like kind of like field cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or stadiums in Pokemon. And this one is just like, fuck that. It just gets rid of the one that's active, and you get to draw a card for 1. It is kind of Luke Skywalker coded. Most decks run at least 2 copies of Cool Judge, just because environment cards in this game are horrendously powerful. If you let your opponent run the environment, you're probably going to lose. There's like ways to lock out your opponent from like ever attacking. Defensive decks usually run like 6 or 7 types of environment cards, and then dump the ones that they're not going to use for the specific matchup. Arid Land. Arid Land is one of the worst ones, but it's bad versus other people. It's very fun in the card game. In the PlayStation 1 game, it's probably my favorite way to play. You're late. You're late. All right. A lot of stuff we've seen. Another press, that's nice. We got Provoke, which forces your opponent to attack Suezo if they choose to attack. Which is great because Suezo has some pretty cheap dodge cards. And then Wild Rush. Wild Rush was a card that was considered really not worth its cost. There are a few fringe cases where it's kind of okay. But I think it only works in one deck right now. Like one semi-competitive deck at least. Get anything awesome yet? Nah. Well, I mean, like we were saying, I think in the booster packs you only get skill cards. Where'd I get a box? I bought that shit online. From Japan. Here's the box. Whee! Has a little little thing here. Does it say 147? I don't know what that means. How do you get monster cards? I think it might be um, booster packs, like with the Moo booster pack. There might have been others. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't alive at the time. But Wild Rush, what Wild Rush does is you pay 3 to dump the top 5 cards of your deck into like making it a resource. So you spend 3 to go +2 on your resources, and then it ends your turn. There's not a lot of situations where this is really useful. Most of the time, it's not useful at all. But there's a couple of decks that can like kind of take advantage of this. And it's decks that have really strong choices for defense more than offense, which is kind of funny. You think if you're trying to turbo your resources, you're playing an aggro deck. It's not the case, really. Yeah, we got some holos. We got 2 copies of Cyclone. We got 2 copies of Sonic Move. And we got 2 copies of Evil Dance. I just realized, yeah, we only got 3 different holographic cards. We got doubles of everything. All right, we got 2 more packs. Let's see if we get something sick here. Any Nighton card? There is no Nighton card. I homebrewed one. I made it. And then now that I've been playing competitively for like 2 years, the original Nighton I homebrewed would be like maybe like bottom 3 cards in the game. I was too worried about making it too powerful, and I made it like obscenely weak. Okay. More Hyde. I think we got like 5 copies of Hyde today. Another shotgun. Another Yodel. Not a new card for me, but I do like Yodel. This just skips your opponent's turn. Very fun card. Really, really expensive, so it doesn't see much play outside of the deck I talked about earlier with tactics to constantly recycle it. All right, we got 1 pack left. Should I open it? Should I keep it sealed? We're going to open it because this shit doesn't cost anything. This is free money. All right. Again. We got recharge. I'm probably not going to buy any more set 1. There are cards I'm missing, but it's too many like chaff cards. We got thrusts. Thrust is kind of nice. Doesn't see a lot of play, but it's okay. And our last card, ba-da-ba. Ah, we got Nice Fight. Nice Fight is you can't use attacks if they do less than 3 damage. So this is really good against chip damage decks. Gives you opportunities to build up a lot of damage. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. If you played this against someone who's running Plant, Plant is the best card in the game. And Plant doesn't have any attacks that do more than 3 damage. So you can play this to lock out Plant from being able to do anything. So that's where Cool Judge comes into play. You need to be able to get rid of stuff like this or else you'll instantly lose. Defensive decks will have like 2 copies of this. They'll have 2 copies of the opposite, which is you can't do any can't use any cards that do more than 3 damage or more. And so the defensive deck will have both, and it'll just play whatever the matchup calls for. How much did it cost? It was $100 for the sealed box and 15 cards. So, or 15 packs of cards. All right. So, look at that. Yes, we got a Nice Fight. We got a Yodel. Cool Judge. Let me sort this a little bit. 1 second. I'll sort it a little bit. Tiger 2. Yeah, Tiger's got some ways around it. I'm sorting away. No penny sleeves? Nah. There's no point. Who am I saving this for, huh? The resale value of like, it's like the same cost as buying the sleeves. Okay, so we got two. They're also so bent already. I say already, it was like 20 years ago that these came out, but 25 years ago, 27 years ago. Holy moly. Okay, so the holographics we got Yodel. We got two Evil Dances, which is one of Galley's better attacks. He's want for choice. We got two Cyclones. I already had one, so now I got a full playset. And we got two Sonic moves, which Sonic move what makes his next attack undodgeable? Is it undodgeable? Next power attack undodgeable? Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? Just keeps him nice? Nah, it's okay. I'm not precious like that. I'll put these in a binder or something eventually, but I got two hollow Sonic moves. Yeah, Sonic move is only hollow in set 1. And then we got Wild Rush. We got Encourage. I guess I'll talk about what they are again. Wild Rush is 3 costs to dump 5 cards from your deck. Those become your guts. So you basically go +2 on guts. Spend 3 to get 5 guts, and then you, you know, at that point you are doing okay. Or you're super far behind, one or the other. Only certain decks can use it. Encourage is cards cost 1 less. Attack cards cost 1 less. Everything does 1 more damage. Hot Battle. Excited intelligence attacks do 2 less damage. Another staple in defensive decks. Cool Judge, remove the current environment card. Replace it with this. And then draw 1 card. Has no other actual effect. Nice Fight. Attacks that do 3 or fewer damage cannot be used. Doesn't actually... Yeah, it does say 3. Yeah. Dodge. Just spend all your guts to dodge an incoming attack. And then Grit. If you were to be KO'd by the exact amount of damage that the attack does, you survive with 1 HP. So, yeah, that's cool. Got some fun cards there. Add them to the set. But what time is it? It's 9:49. I think we play a little bit of Monster Rancher now. Appreciate you guys hanging out to watch that if that's all you were interested in. But we're gonna play some games now. Here, let me get all this shit out of here. Makes me excited for the cards I'm getting soon. Gonna have to pay about $500 in tariffs. Holy shit! What the hell? Oh my god, that's insane, man. All right. I'm gonna put these back in the box. Actually, I'm gonna throw this out. Okay. $5,000. Don't joke. He might change it to that tomorrow. You have no way of knowing. Cool. Hey, it's a deck box now. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, BRB, let me set up my camera and we'll be good to go. Hey, I'm back. That's me. That's the guy you all know. It's the guy some of you know. All right, I don't need to see what's going on in, what do you call it? In mobile land anymore. See you later. Yeah, all right. So let's play some Monster Rancher 2. That's what we do here. I actually don't know if I like this new stream setup more than my old one. I don't have to use a Restream anymore, which is nice because Restream is garbage, but it's a bit of a nightmare to get everything set up. Selling a chunk of stuff to recoup the costs? Man. The life of a collector, you know? Okay, so tomorrow we have the first night of the playoffs for DXBL Season 4. Super excited about that. Stream's not over yet. We're going to play some games. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's going to be sick. I got money in my pocket. I got a 20. I found a 20. Let's go, baby. That's sick as hell. I haven't worn this jacket in a while, so that's free money. Girl math, baby. Where is my Steam? Yeah, DXBL starts ending. The end, or the beginning of the end, is tomorrow. Which format is tomorrow's stream? It is D rank. Hey, slimy box. Gross. It's D rank lightweight. Every monster in D rank lightweight will play. Everyone's fighting. Raising Deluxe Cup mod? No, because that is something I want to start next week. But I have to decide what I want to make first. I also have to finish the dragon plant I was building, or you know, whatever the word is, creating. I'm gonna get the More Monsters mod set up next week. I haven't actually got it set up yet. I've never played with it. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time making sure everything is copacetic, and then we'll play, and I will decide what I want. Nighton Duckin? Nighton Duckin's pretty sick. Everybody's taking, like, the Metal Nurse subbreeds, so that's really funny to me. I don't know. I don't think my gel's gonna work out. Nightonzilla? I don't think anyone made that yet. I have to get my chariot back online before I go to bed then. This is how I know people aren't in the Discord, or they've got the @everyone's turned off, and that's fine. That shit's annoying. I wouldn't want to listen to it either. But I did ping everybody saying this was the situation a little while ago. Alright, let me try and figure out my camera here. I can't get my camera looking super nice today. I don't know why. Oh, that's radiated. That's gnarly. What the hell? Let's go back. Yeah, it's a little bit closer to how it usually is. I'm looking a little pink, but this is how I like blend into the shirt. This is actually just a ploy to get people who are not really paying attention on the YouTube shorts. Like, that dude's not wearing a shirt. I'm gonna watch that stream. Has anyone made a worm arrowhead combination? No, but the opposite I made. Arrowhead worm. I guess I gotta do some Deluxe Cup promo, right? I can show off some of the monsters that have been made. I'm always showing off some of the monsters that are made. This guy's been living on my ranch. You don't abuse it? I literally only use it when I'm going live, and I never use it otherwise. Or when a new Rancher Rundown is ready. But, yeah, this is not a Jill Kato. It's the body of Jill Kato. But I have turned it into Jill Hopper. Jill Hopper is a monster that you can play in the More Monsters mod. He plays exactly like a Jill Hopper would. Like, his stat gains are exactly in line with what those two monsters' stats combined are. Its guts rate is exactly what it should be. Very cool. His name's not Jopper. His name is Tanuki. He's a little rascal. Yeah. Why Bengal, not $1 model out of curiosity? It's the same model. I wanted to do ears, but the ears are 3D. I started working on Ghost Bajaro. Current name is Sand Spirit. That's sick. I saw you were talking about what to do about the head or the hat. And I don't know if it's been like... I assume it's been suggested, but the hat literally just being the jar upside down would be kind of cool. It's hard to get rid of the brim because there's a bit of a gap on the Ghost model, but kind of neat. Probably looked like a penguin. But yes, Deluxe Cup is coming up. The Deluxe Cup is the biggest. Traditionally, it's been the biggest Monster Entry tournament of the year. This year, because we are doing a special mod with it, which is the More Monsters mod. You don't need to use it. Only I need to have the mod installed. You can play just vanilla. It's totally fine. But the More Monsters mod is a community project where everybody is making additional subbreeds that didn't exist inside the game already. And yeah, I'm sorry, the YouTube chat really is fucked up. I'll get it figured out tomorrow. Wondering if you guys can make a mod allow stats go beyond 999. That would require like changing all of the code of how battles work and stuff like that. Like all of the stats would have to be readjusted. Just got abandonment trauma. He was only on the ranch for a week. I don't know why he's so upset. Okay, I need... Let's go to the shrine. I'm going to show you guys some things. Some of the monsters I made. I can only show you the ones I made because I don't have the mod installed right now. So I can't show you everyone else's. A lot of people made a lot of cool stuff. I made this plant. I made a plant dragon. This doesn't exist in the game as is. But I think it's pretty cool. I debated using this as well. Having a really slow guts rate plant could be interesting. You could go like super, super low on skill and then use its really accurate power techs. And so you could put points elsewhere. He's also got an eyeball, hidden eyeball, look at that. And he's got gnarly lips. They're like all chapped and gross. They're like mine right now. I'm like having trouble talking because I have a split right in the bottom of my lip. And I don't know if it's from like boxing or just because of how dry it is. But I think it's a combination of both. Like I think my lips were drying out and then I got hit. And like I didn't bleed or anything, but I think it might have just like split the lip a little bit. And so every time I talk, it's like painful. And I'm trying real hard just to like power through it. But yeah, I really like this guy. Blah. I think he turned out real good. Like two little like tongues on each plant. Kind of funny. Is there plant arrowhead? No. I think there's only been like 2 or 3 plants made. How difficult is modding? I got a whole video on it. It's extremely simple. Basically, there is a tool that you download, and what it does is it extracts all of the files from the game, and then you point it to a PNG, or you point it to one of the files. So say plant Like for that one, that's built on Plant Pixie. You point the tool at Plant Pixie, and then it generates a PNG of the texture map of Plant Pixie. And then you can like do whatever modding you want in Photoshop or whatever else you're using. And then you point the mod at the new image that you made, and it just shows up. I can show you one that's that I'm in the middle of making to show you what it looks like. So this is one I haven't finished yet. I haven't done any work on it since I last showed it off on stream. But I am making a dragon currently. Tiach made an instructional video. Yeah, I used his video in my video as well. I have a really comprehensive one on how to get it all working. So I made Plant Dragon, and now I'm making Dragon Plant. So you can see there's a bunch of like markings and stuff, right? And these like scribbles are just drawn on top of Gidris, which is the dragon metal mirror, which is obviously still there, right? Like you can still see all the metal parts. But on the texture map, it's not immediately apparent what everything is. So I was like drawing shapes and circles and things like that. Circles are a shape, by the way. Shapes and circles. Just so I could see what texture correlated to like what part of the body, because it's not always obvious. And then, yeah, so I've made some progress. The head ended up looking a little bit better than I expected by the end. The texture, like, connecting his cheek to this is not like 100%, but I'm mostly okay with it. But yeah, I think it's turned out pretty good. Plant body's great, thank you. Yeah, this, his tail and his neck is literally just a picture of a tomato vine. That's, you know, lots of these old games, and Monster Rancher's not really that different. Monster Rancher has a lot of, like, you know, stuff an artist went in and painted. But it also has a lot of stuff that is, literally just, like, found textures. So many games from the PS1 era did that. They still do it, obviously, and, like, it hasn't gone away. But there's lots of stuff where it's like, oh, that's just a source photograph. And so we're doing the same thing. These leaves on the wings, I didn't make these. I found a picture of leaves. And I copy and pasted it. So you're asking how hard is modding. I'm not an artist. Like, you know, and that's not me being self-deprecating or anything. Like, I don't feel like my visual art skills are very good. But you can just find and replace stuff. Yeah, it's a plant pot. This is, like, it's kind of funny how it doesn't translate super well. This is literally, like, a terracotta pot that I found a picture of, and then, like, shaped it into a thing that would, like, make sense for his body. But it kind of just looks like flat colors. Like, I didn't make, like, a stripe here. That's just, like, there's a stripe on the pot that does that. And then, like, all of these different stripes, all of the shading, and everything like that. That's just what the pot looked like. And so it's a little bit... It's a tad cartoony, but, you know, it is what it is. And then I have this, like, moss that I use. I couldn't figure out how to make the pot and the tail, like, work together, right? So I was like, what if I just put, like, moss over it? And so you can see, like, the tail is peeking through here, and it, like, kind of grows up the pot a little bit. Just to, like, make a little bit of a barrier. I still don't know what I want to do with the arms and the legs. I want to do, like, I wanted to do, like, flowers here for this. Like, give them, like, cuffs that are, like, flowery or whatever. But you can't change the shape yet. We can't change the actual dimensions or the models. So I was trying to find something that looked good with, like, a really blocky look like this. And the flowers, like, weren't really cutting it. Gonna do root legs? I'm thinking of it. There's some issues. with doing that, because originally the goal was to have like the green come down here and then have it like rooted at the rest of it, right? So like the roots would like kind of grow out of it. It would go green to brown, but it doesn't really work the way you would expect because these share a texture somewhere else. Is it his feet? I think it's his. It's somewhere else on his body. It's kind of unfortunate I don't have the markings on his legs right now. But it's just, there was a reason why I didn't do that. I have to go back to the drawing board and come up with something else. But, you know, we're working on it. Originally, too, I wanted to just make this like a green stump. But this shares a texture. Like the stump of his wing shares a texture with the side of his head here. Or, not the side of his head. It shares it with something else. There's something it shares it with that like makes it awkward. Yeah, I think no, that's not the same color. But whatever it is, I couldn't just make it green. It didn't make sense to make it green. Carnation shape would look good. That's literally what I tried. But, you know, I can just come back to it and do some shading or something. Plant seems like a tough one to make look good. Yeah, plant, I don't know. I found it not too challenging, but there's a lot you can do with plant because there's built-in transparency on its wings, so you can just make the shape of the wings whatever you want. It'll be jagged and you'll see like pixels and aliasing, but you know, it's fine. Honestly, surprised we never got dragon plant through the series. Feels like it would make so much sense. Yeah, I thought so too. And then like the pot body he has here is from Gidris, obviously, but I remember looking at Gidris and being like, that could be a flower pot. And then he's got like the beanstalk growing out of it. But I think this is pretty good so far. I'm pretty excited to see what I can come up with afterwards. And then I'm going to show one more. I've made a bunch more. I made a Hanger Duckin, that's like a toy robot. I made Niton Duckin, which is a goofy little guy. I made Ghost Monel, which is pretty simple, but I like the way it turned out. Any modded Nitons in the future? I mean, I think I'm probably going to make more. He is my favorite guy in this game. I'm going to show you guys one more. And then we'll actually play a game or something. So, I'm also a big fan of Color Pandora. And, you know, I did my best to make him as attractive and cool as possible here. You know? I think it's pretty cool. A little on the nose, but, you know. Speaking of on the nose, I decided just to leave the colored noses because I thought it was funny. Monol Ghost? Yeah, the aerogel is kind of funny. But yeah, they made it into like a tombstone. Whee! Because this is... The way this works right now, right, is that I haven't really changed any game data. I've just changed the PNG that the game, like, references, more or less. So the game thinks all Color Pandoras look like this. If we were to fight Pavoris in rank C, it would look like this. That's just like, you can reset it whenever you want. I've been too lazy to do it. Yeah, the teeth turned out surprisingly well. I'm pretty happy with the teeth, I'm not gonna lie. This was the very first thing I made when the mod was first available. And I was like, oh, I should probably make some stuff on stream. And so I spent like 10 minutes before the stream making this. And it literally only took 10 minutes. Not even like, you know how all of your artist friends are like, yeah, I made this thing, and like, I only spent 5 minutes on it. And it's like, no, you didn't, because it probably took you 5 minutes to like pick out brushes. Like, you don't have to lie about it. It's fine if it took you a little bit longer. This, I literally, like, from the time I opened Photoshop and got the mod tool downloaded, it was like 10 to 15 minutes start to finish. Color Pandora is extremely easy. And then the tail is just like the bottom of the wrapper. It doesn't look great, but again, 10 to 15 minutes. Some of these have taken me like 12, 13, 14, 20, 25 hours to make. I just don't have a sense of time. But it's very funny to everybody when you say, like, not you specifically, but like the royal you, when y'all are like, yeah, I opened Photoshop and made this in 10 minutes. And it's like, no, you didn't. You can't do anything in 10 minutes. You're an artist. And it's for the better that you can't. That's why you're so good. Hey, Stark, how are you doing? Man, I'm starting to get over this cold now. But I'm at the stage where I'm like constantly congested. Like, I just gotta constantly blow my nose. But there's like, it doesn't feel like there's like snot in my nose. It just feels like there's like a big blockage that I can't do anything about. So I apologize if I'm super like nasally and whatever. Drinking a lot of water. I've been drinking water. I've been drinking what's better than water. They got this in Canada now. They didn't for the longest time. You used to have to import it from the States. Fanta Zero Sugar, baby. Let's go. Neti Pot stream? Hell yeah. God, can you imagine? Drink more? I've been drinking more. I've been drinking more. I'm curious what this looks like on my... Oh my god. This looks so fucking terrible on the YouTube short stream. Why did I even bother putting in the effort for this? So originally, you know, I was talking about this. I wanted to be able to stream to YouTube Shorts at the same time. Mostly because a lot of the times those streams have like thousands of viewers and it's like the most dog shit content. It's like literally the worst guy you've ever seen playing a game and he like has no personality or marginally less personality than me. He's not talking to chat. He's just sitting there playing this game that can only be described as like... I don't even know. It's indescribable. It's like some Roblox bullshit where he's just like walking around in circles and there will be like 10,000 people watching. So I was like, I gotta get in on that. I gotta get like the 7 cents that guy's getting for 10,000 people watching on YouTube Shorts. Because YouTube Shorts don't pay. But, yeah, I don't even know how it works, man. I actually have a YouTube Shorts, what do you call it? I took too long to get into it is what I'm trying to get at. Because I looked up a tool to do what I'm doing right now like a year ago. And then I literally never like... did anything with it, like with the knowledge that I learned about this tool and all this stuff that I installed today. And basically the way it works is you had to stream to YouTube and then you had to stream to YouTube Shorts as a second stream. And it doesn't seem to let you do that anymore. Like I can't schedule 2 streams at the same time anymore. It gives me the same URL and the same stream key. So even though I spent like an hour today making a vertical overlay, so like it's my face and then the game was over top of it and it looks all nice. YouTube Shorts just like YouTube just doesn't give a shit about that anymore. I can't do that anymore. And what they have implemented now is probably better in the long run, but the tool as it stands is just like it's a work in progress for them, and because it's a work in progress for them, they're really awful. I'm telling you, just read a Reddit post over Hop About footage. Yeah, I should do that. We do React Court. Just steal content from other people. Steal ideas of content from other people. And the no pay for shorts is why YouTube juices it so much. The amount of time, and like I think it would kind of go okay if I finally started uploading my footage from tournaments. and then put them on YouTube Shorts. I think that'd be pretty good. Just like what do you call it? Just doing commentary over it. Like, I don't even need to make anything for that. I just need to get the overlay set up, and then I can, like, I have like 30 or 40 of those per stream, and I can just put out 1 a day or whatever, or 2 a day, and then I'm set for months. But like, I just don't give a shit about YouTube Shorts. It's more for discoverability than it is for anything else. I think it would be kind of neat, but also the kind of people who watch YouTube Shorts and comment on YouTube Shorts and are willing to like get invested in them are maybe not the people I want watching the stuff in the first place. Like, I still get comments all the time that are like, this monster's not even... I got one today that's like, this monster sucks, man. And it's just talking, like, in one of the Nuzlocke videos. And it's like, this isn't YouTube, brother. Sorry, that is YouTube. It's not Facebook. If you guys have ever seen, like, the Facebook Monster Rancher groups, it's just a bunch of Filipino and Indonesian people who have, like, broken English yelling at each other about how much their monster is better than the other person's monster. And it's getting lost in translation. And it's just escalating. It's very funny. It's so stupid. And it's like, yeah, actually, I'm better than you at this game that's like 25 years old. And occasionally they'll say stuff to like Fenric or whatever. And it's insane because it's like, you read all this info on Legend Cup, or you watched one of my videos, and then just be like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm actually a god at this game. And it's like, you're a god because you read the things that we wrote. You learned how to play the game from us. But like, they don't know, right? Same, it's people showing off the merch they got. It's gotten better recently, but in the last, like, I would say like 2 or 3 years ago was the heyday of like, someone would be like, I love Monster Rancher 2. Here's a fun guy I made. And they'd be like, this guy sucks. Look at my guy. He's got close to max stats. And it's a guy with like a Joker with like 700 in every stat. It's like, try to beat that. And then some other guy comes in. It's like, that Joker is a piece of shit. Look at this thing I made. It's perfect. And it's got like 800 in every stats. And then another guy comes in. It's like, yeah, you're both fucking losers. Like, it's not that aggro, but it's like, that's the attitude, right? And I get comments like that occasionally too, where it's like, when I play this game, my monsters all have max stats. And it's like, okay. I'm happy for you, man. Swinging a torch at Prometheus? That's what I'm saying. I made the fire. You were out in the cold until I came along. Played Monster Rancher 2 in 1998. Yeah. Remember how you just embraced being confused about everything? Yeah, I got a video about that coming out. It's not really about Monster Rancher specifically. Also, I guess I could actually like play the game. Let's just find a random monster at the shrine and do some shit. I don't care. What's up? Better than nothing, right? What do we got? Hayden? Franz Joseph Hayden? Not the girl of my dreams. Things are as bad as they seem. You are only 16. What a fucking song, man. That's why you're only a dream. What an insane song to like make your lead-off single. What am I looking for? I gotta go to the grocery store. I don't remember the words. Littlest Hobo fan art the other day? Did my incredibly bad singing remind you of the me butchering the Littlest Hobo theme song? We're gonna call this guy Hayden. Man of my dreams. Things are as bad as they seem. Yeah, it was released in 99. Goat's just giving you a hard time. Alright. But yeah, I got a video coming out. It's probably my next video. Like, it'll be the March big video I make. It's not gonna be Monster Rancher related, but it's about just like difficulty in games, and not like the way that everybody else talks about it. It's more about what's it called? It's more about Windswept as like a case study than anything else. Windswept is a cool little platformer game if you don't know anything about it. It's kind of like a Donkey Kong Country 2 ripoff, and I use ripoff in the most congenial and complimentary terms. I think it would call itself a ripoff, where you control 2 characters, and it's a platformer, and it's hard as shit. And it's just like, there's Steam reviews that are just like, I don't play games to be, I don't play games to be stressed out. I don't play games to be frustrated. I only play games to like relax, and like this game is way too hard, so therefore it's bad because, you know, I don't want to play it. And your first instinct is mad because bad. And there's definitely some of that. But I think it's deeper than that, right? The mad because bad is there. But the thing about Windswept is it has the most like bespoke, customizable difficulty settings I've ever seen in a video game, which is why it's about, the video is about Windswept specifically. That, and because I think more people need to play it. I think it's fantastic. It was my favorite game that came out last year. You can make it so you are invincible. You can make it so you can reset checkpoints wherever you want. You can just like draw, like, I want a checkpoint here. Like, this is a really hard section, I'll put a checkpoint here. You can make it so, you know, you have infinite jumps. This is just all in the menu. This is not like a thing you need to unlock or some secrets or anything. And then you can make it harder. You can make it so touching coins, like collectibles, kills you. You can make the game unbelievably difficult if you want. You can do whatever you want. Zombocom. Rip Zombocom, by the way. But people, even with all of that at their disposal, and the fact that it's a single-player game, and all right, 0 for 2, thanks, man. Speaking of difficulty. And like with all of this swirling around, people are still like, I don't like this game because it is too difficult. And it's not more complicated than that. It's literally, this game should not be this hard. And I think it's bad. It's bad game design because it's this hard. There's one level in particular that the video is about. It's about a level in a video game. And I think the level is genius because it takes puzzle platforming and makes it a platform puzzle. There is so much movement and like movement tech in the game, and then in one of the post-game levels, one of the like the bonus levels in the game, it requires you to do a bunch of movements that you've never done before to get like over specific gaps and like jump specific sections. And I think that's the perfect time to do that. You didn't need to do any of these like crazy advanced maneuvers before this, but now you're asked to get creative and do some problem solving and try and figure out, okay, I have all of these different tools. I can air dash, I can do a ground pound and then air dash out of the ground pound in midair. I can do a ground pound and air dash out of the ground pound in the midair and press a button so one of my characters starts riding the other character, and then I can flip them around and then throw that character and then bounce off a wall like a shell bounce from Mario, and then I can flutter. Like, there's so many different like movement options that you can combine together in the game. And I think it's genius to have a level where it's like, time to figure out what some of this shit does. And it's not like halfway through the game, it's after the game's over. You've seen the credits roll, you've beaten the last boss, and it's really interesting. You're salty about D2 game design? Farming Countess on New Tune? 10,000 OS? Dude, I ran 4 hours of Countess on normal difficulty with my Warlock when it came out, and I got 0 Ls. I needed 1 L. In 4 hours of running it, I didn't get a single one. It's like a 10% chance. Very unfortunate. But yeah, anyway, I think it's so cool to have a level that's like, this is for freaks. This is for people who are like, I enjoyed playing the game. I got to this point. I've already beaten the game. What else is there? Well, let's see what is possible within the engine. Like, let's push the engine and the movement to its absolute max. It sounds like I got nothing but L's. You got me. Holy, that's a +2, man. That's a big +2. I don't even have a comeback. But I think it's a genius level. I think it's incredible, and I think more games should do that, where it's just like, put it all together, figure it out. I think what it reminded me of was the final bonus level from Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island did something similar, where the level, or the World 6 bonus level, is kind of like a put everything you learned together. And there's no... What makes Windswept novel is that it's a puzzle to solve. But it's also a test of everything you've learned up until that point. It's very cool. Very cool. And then I would say the final level of Windswept is more of like a Yoshi's Island World 6 bonus level type thing. But anyway, so many of the comments are, this game is bad because the game does not teach me how to beat this level. It doesn't teach me. The game is called Dire Ducts because you're in an air duct. Very funny name. But so many of the comments I saw were like, Dire Ducts is a terrible level because it doesn't teach me how to do any of this stuff. And I think most gamers are just like genuinely stupid, because the idea that the movement has been turned into a puzzle and that the answer should be told to you is like obviously missing the point of the level, right? It's not a bad level design. You're quite literally too stupid to know what's going on. It's not even I don't know. I'm like getting tripped up talking about it. But it made me realize that it's an ego thing more than anything else, right? And then that made me think about other comments I'd seen on Steam about it, where it's like, this game is too hard and therefore bad, even though you can make the game easier. And like Steam achievements on it are explicitly not locked behind not turning on those accessibility features. You could turn on invincibility, get to the end of the game, see the credits, get all of the achievements. It will not tell on you. It's not going to snitch on you. I have a line in the video about, like, I've unlocked all this stuff. I beat the last level. I beat the last bonus level, which is, like, obscenely difficult. But did I do it without cheats? There's no way for me to know. There's no way for you to know. I would have to do it live in front of you. And it's too difficult for me to, like, want to attempt doing it a second time. So you'll just have to trust me on it. And it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter if I did it or not. I did do it. I did most of it on stream, actually. But it was kind of miserable. I actually don't think the last level of the game is very good. I think it's one of the worst levels in the game, design-wise. But so many of the other levels are just so good that it makes up for it. Nothing feels better than a super crunchy vertical slice. Yes. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's ego is what it comes down to. I thought it was mad because bad, and then you want to be better, and there's like ego attached to that, right? You want to be better, and you're mad that you're not as good as you thought you were. But I don't think it's that. I don't think people are going into the game expecting to be able to stomp it. They are going in being like, this is going to be difficult, and then it becomes more difficult than they expected. And the illusion of like the power fantasy of like, I'm in control of the game is lost. And I think that's what the frustrating thing is for a lot of these people, is that they are not as good at the game as they thought they would be, which is not the whole picture. Like I just said, that's part of it. But the problem is, a lot of people supplant being good at video games for having built actual skills. right? Or like learning how to play guitar or learning how to paint, or yeah, they buy a bat, they're entitled to hit a home run. But or getting good at baseball, right? Getting good at a sport, getting good at music, getting good at art, doing whatever, anything that like takes effort and is difficult. A lot of video games kind of supplant that need to practice with just like, you're going to get to the goal. You're going to hit a level of achievement regardless, right? And it's why I think a lot of people don't like fighting games. And there's all these arguments about it. It's like, oh, well, you know, in other multiplayer games, you can blame your team, but in fighting games, you can only play yourself. You can only blame yourself. And like, that's insane. If you've ever played video games or played, you know, fighting games against other people, they will find things to blame that are not themselves. It's the ping. It's a stupid move. That shit's broken. He's only winning because of that character. There's a million things you can blame that aren't yourself. I don't think that's true at all. I think the situation is that most video games allow you to get better without actually getting better, right? You get more powerful without learning or like building on any sort of knowledge or skill base. And fighting games don't do that. You need to get good at the game, but you need to get good at a lot of things outside of the game at the same time. And that is literally, and this is not, if this is you, it's not a bad thing, right? For most people, it's just simply not something they're willing to put the time into, right? And it's not a big deal. If you're like, I want to play games where I don't have to practice, totally fine. 100%. You can play Stardew Valley, you can play whatever. There's a million games out there that are 10 out of 10 games where you don't need to practice. You don't need to improve at, to like progress. The game just allows you, through your character getting stronger or whatever it happens to be, right? And even in other like hard platforming games like a Donkey Kong Country 2 or something like that, there is a small amount of improvement. You do get better the more you play the game. But there's nothing like there is in Windswept where it's like you need to practice the movements. It's more of like I've played this level before, so I know what happens. Okay, a thing's gonna jump out here. I can get over that, whatever, right? And then movement becomes a little bit better just because you've been cartwheeling and like doing the hair spins and stuff. But the actual maneuvers in Windswept are like multi-button, like I press this, then I press this, then I press this, then I press this, then I press this. And that takes effort and timing and practice and repetitions to get down. And that's why people feel like the level that is meant to be a puzzle that you're supposed to figure out for yourself should be taught to you. Because they're like, I get to this point and I've never done it before, so I have no reps. So I don't know how you expect me to do this. And the goal is, you know, figure that shit out for yourself. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm rambling a little bit, but the TLDR is just that I think it's ego and a misled like expectation of what you're going to get out of the video game. It's more complicated than mad 'cause bad. It's mad because I didn't think I was going to be bad. And I didn't want this game to be a game where I had to try, you know? There's plenty of people who are mad because they're like, this boss is too hard. I don't like how the boss does this. It's too hard. And then people are like, well, yeah, it's because you suck. Like, you know, like old school Dark Souls type vibes, right? Where people would be obnoxious about it on the internet. But I haven't seen a single person be like that about Windswept. All of the good stuff I've seen said about it, it's not been like the way I'm elucidating it. It's been, saying I'm elucidating it is probably giving myself way too much credit. I think I'm really like ham-fisting this shit. But, I don't know. Most of it's just been like, no, like, I think you misunderstand what the point is. And they're like, no, I bought this game because I thought it was going to be a fun game, and it's not fun because it's too hard. And then people are like, well, you know, you can change the difficulty settings if you want to experience the game in like a more relaxed setting. And they're like, no, I shouldn't have to do that. And it's like, yeah, you should. You should have to do that because you're quite because you're mad because bad. Like, it's what it comes down to, right? As much as that's not it. It's nobody wants to admit that they had to make the game easier. And even when the game won't tell anybody, there's no indication that you've made the game easier, people are still like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to be mad. I'm not looking for answers. I want the game to be easy enough for me to beat. And if I don't get the power fantasy, then, you know, it's a failure. Also seems like in case of gamers want progress to be spoon-fed. You're on to something. There's a whole section of the video about how the people who complain about like yellow painted ledges are the people the yellow painted ledges are for. And the people who feel insulted, they're like, oh, you're saying I could never figure this out? Yeah, you probably couldn't. Statistically, you couldn't. Statistically, most of you would not have been able to figure out where you were supposed to go. And then you would complain about it. There's this, I'm not, like, in game dev, right? I'm making a video game. I'm working on it. But I'm not, like, a professional game dev, right? So everything I say on the subject is, like, with a grain of salt or, like, a pile of salt or whatever. Dude, I saw the fucking Portal clip. Oh my god, I saw that today, too. That was insane. I gotta put that in the video, man. That's so fucking funny. He just walked through the portal like 9 times, and he's like, why do I keep coming back to the same place? What the hell? This game doesn't make any sense. Can I stop going back to the same place? What the fuck is this game? And I was dying laughing, man. That shit is so funny. Like, I get that it's... and here's the thing. I've never played Portal. I know about Portal through osmosis because, you know, someone my age, it was impossible to ignore it. The game is not complicated. The game is fascinating and interesting and, like, really cool in a lot of neat and novel ways. And it's an incredible mechanic to throw into a game. Super sick. But to say it's confusing is fucking crazy. Because it's... you put a portal here, you put a portal here, they're connected. The confusing part is, like, getting your bearings after you've gone through the portal. But, like, that's not... like, it's not difficult otherwise. I don't know, man. Where you train this little Suezo? We're just fucking around. I needed something to do while I was talking. I'm feeling pretty low energy because I'm still sick and, like, I can't breathe through my nose at all. So that's, like, the big trouble here is I gotta talk, but I can't breathe while I'm talking. So it's tiring me out. But yeah, there was something I was gonna say before the Portal stream thing. Yeah, there's a thing in game dev. And like I said, I'm not in game dev, so this is just, you know, a thing I've heard. But you need... when you're making a level in 3D with a 3D camera, 3D character movement, if the person needs to look up, you need to have a big fucking arrow that says point, look up now, dumbass, because people will be in a room, no exits. It could just be like a square, 4 gray walls, gray floor, and they're like, okay, I'm stuck, I can't get out. They will not look up. It's a thing that, like, gamers just are not, they never ever think to look up. And it's a bizarre thing in game dev where, like, people have learned this, where it's like QA testers get stuck all the time. Especially, like, junior ones who don't really know what they're doing. But yeah, if someone needs to look up above regular eye height, they are going to get stuck if you don't give them some incentive to look up. So you need to put something interesting on the wall that like is just like in the top half of the screen, like something that comes down, snakes down a little bit. Maybe there's a vine on the wall or something. So they look up at the vine and then it's like, oh, there's more stuff up here. You need to do something that like it draws their eyes to it. So I don't have a lot of faith that people would not be able to figure out where to go if the ledges weren't painted yellow. Like, those ledges are probably painted yellow because people were like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Like, I understand they want it to be a little bit more immersive, but at the same time, you might be a little bit stupid if you're like playing Final Fantasy VII and then you see yellow ledges and you're like, oh, fuck, takes me out of the game. I forgot I was playing a video game. Oh, man, that just reminded me. It's like, come on, man. You're an adult. I don't know. I think most gamers are not like real people though. That's how I'm able to like say all this stuff, is I just have like solipsism about game. I'm the only real gamer. Everyone else is just fake. And I don't mean fake gamer in terms of like name 5 Nobu Uematsu songs or whatever, right? Like, I mean fake gamers and like nobody else actually like exists. Being able to turn paint on and off, yeah, perfect. And that's where I think something like, what do you call it? The fucking game I've been talking about that I've forgotten the name of, Windswept, is great because there's a lot of stuff that's super difficult in the game. And it's like, hey, is this too hard for you? It's fine if it is. It's okay if it's too hard. Don't stress about it. There's a million things you can do to make it a little bit easier. There's a million things you can do to make it way easier. If you think this level is poorly designed and you're just like, I just want to see what's next, you can skip the level. You can just straight up skip it. In the main menu, like when you press pause, you can just skip the level if you feel like it. You can make the game that easy. You can make it so checkpoints, you can put more checkpoints in if you're like, okay, that was a hard section, let me put a checkpoint down so I don't have to redo it. I don't have to go back as far. You know, you can do infinite jumps if you want to like try and explore and then come back later and be like, okay, that's how I'm supposed to do that to get that secret. I'll come back once I feel like better. I can figure that out. I don't know. Drama about immersion never really gets settled. It's like the poodling argument. Yeah. I do dislike the trend of a menu popping up asking, do you want to lower the difficulty? Okay, that's horrendous. That's maybe the worst possible design element in like this discussion. And the thing that kills me is like, I play a lot of Pokemon TCG Pocket, right? And I've gotten Master Ball. Master Ball's not like hard to get, and it's like way easier to get now because they have win streaks where if you got Master Ball last season and you can win like 15 games in a row, you can get Master Ball again like immediately. You don't need to stress too hard about it. But if you do those single player missions and you lose, you can just like brick, right? You brick, and then the game will be like, hey, try this deck. Did you know that grass is weak to fire? Try a fire deck. And it's like, brother, I didn't draw any fucking Pokemon. I made it to Master Ball. I'm not the best in the world, but like I think I can beat the PC or the AI. I say PC. I said PC when I was thinking CPU, and then I said AI after. Yeah, and what's most annoying about it is it's another dialogue that I have to close. So it's not only being obnoxious, it's literally wasting my time. It's not a lot of time, but if every time that happens I gotta click something else, it just makes it more frustrating to get back into the game. Bad design! Unless the game, like TCG Pocket, is made for like 6-year-olds, then maybe fine. But you should be able to just turn that off. And I don't know why they don't have that. I'm Spartan with this guy. I wasn't even paying attention. Can I make a monster without, like, actually watching myself play and see what happens? Have you seen how much monetization Pokemon Champions is going to have? I did not. We notice you're losing a lot. Would you like to be fast travel to the end cutscene? Yeah. Windswept never mentions it. You have to go into the menus to figure it out yourself. It doesn't even say, like, hey, just in case you're wondering, there are accessibility options. There's just a thing that says accessibility. You click on it. And then a list of things ranging from skip the level to both enemies. Touching an enemy, killing an enemy kills you, and touching a coin kills you. So the entire game becomes like fucking bullet hell. Mono, that's a wooden training domino out for revenge. You wouldn't believe it, but that already exists. And I forget, its name is Vengeance, and it's the Mono Mach. It's the domino when you get the grate and it like has like a punch in it. It's not in the game, but it's in the More Monsters mod. Someone added it. What kind of runs are we doing today? We're just killing time. We're just having a fun conversation. I was testing some stuff for stream today, so it was never going to be anything super serious. I was just testing what do you call it? Vertical video on YouTube. Didn't work out the way I wanted, but you know, I'll spend some time tomorrow trying to get it set up. I will say, I'm glad that failing miserably in the flying challenge in the Pokemon SV DLC, they just let you skip it because your Joy-Con drift made it impossible. Really? I haven't. Scarlet and Violet's the first Pokemon game I didn't finish in many moons. Woke up spontaneously, went to Pokemon TCG tournament on a whim today. Went 3-1. That's pretty sick. Like, was it Swiss? Like, Swiss usually doesn't end at one loss. Was it just like you beat everybody? Or like you were the only, like you won the whole thing? Like after 3 tries, they're just like, okay, you don't need to do it? That's kind of funny. It was not Swiss? Oh, okay. First to 1? God damn, dude. First to 1 single limb is so funny. Japan loves first to 1 single limb. Even in the Monster Hunter scene, that's what they do. Every Japanese tournament has like 90 entrants because every person's made like 6 monsters. And then it's over in like an hour because it's just one game. Somebody gets hit frame 1. All right, you're out of the tournament. GG's. Nothing wrong with it. Just a very different way to play. I would say in a card game, there's something, you know, when there's something on the line, you want a little bit of consistency. You want the game to feel earned or, you know, the loss to feel earned. Have to accept it's in the heart of the cards at that point. Did you see the official format for TCG Pocket? I know you're talking about real TCG, but TCG Pocket, the official format is you bring 2 decks and none of the Pokemon can be the same. And it's best 2 out of 3, but when you win, you got to switch to your other deck. So it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. You got to win with both decks to win. You just hope that your first deck isn't counterpicked by both your opponent's decks. I think at that point, like, you've made a mistake, though. You rage quit Pocket? Pocket got a lot better, and then it got a lot worse, and then I think it's in a pretty okay spot right now. I really, really liked, like, the second set. I think with, like, Gyarados fighting box meta, it was pretty sick. Mew, defensive Mew deck with Koga and Weezing. A lot of really good decks in that set. I've seen all the changes. I had a hard time accepting how bad it felt to go first in that game. Oh yeah, that's completely changed. A bunch of decks like insta win if they go first now. Even in the original set, there were decks that did really well going first. Misty decks. I mean, Misty was like... The problem with TCG Pocket when it first came out was that it didn't feel serious, right? It was just like, yeah, whatever. I'll play the game, and if I win, I win, and if I don't, I don't. Nothing on the line, right? And there's still nothing on the line. But it just felt like, all right, well, I lost that one, but there's nothing I could have done about it. Misty Executor going first was really good, obviously, because, you know, on the first turn you got to put energy on your guy. You could do 80 damage. Now they've got like rare candies in the game, so any like stage 2 Pokemon that has a 1 cost attack is now very, very strong going first. Statistically, she should miss as often as she hit. Yeah. Yes, but... We're playing Monster Rancher. We know all about that. Boxing sim that's very Monster Rancher-like, but didn't take off and got abandoned, called Victory Road. Someone was telling me about like a monster, like a virtual pet type thing where you make an MMA fighter. And it seemed cool to me, like, in concept. When they were describing it to me, there's like, this shit looks sick. And then I watched the gameplay, and I'm like, this kind of looks like ass. So the presentation lost me. Cool idea, though. Mega Venusaur deck going first is almost broken. There's a lot of counters to it, but it is very strong, yeah. Hydreigon. Hydreigon going first, real strong. Annihilate, dude, Annihilate is such a funny deck. It's not good, but it's really funny. So yeah, if you haven't been in the game for a while, rare candies exist now, so you can go to stage 3 or stage 2 on your first turn. You get to put energy on, and Annihilate has a 1 cost attack that does 90 damage, and the downside is he does 30 damage to himself. So you can do 90 damage on your second turn if you're going first. But if you draw like crazy, if you draw Exodia, basically, Lucario has the effect of all fighting type attacks do 20 more damage on your side. So if you draw Mankey, and then you draw Mankey, the rare candy, Annihilate, and then Lucario, Riolu in like your first 2 turns, you can do 130 damage for 1 energy when you like first play the card. It's really, really silly. It's basically like a I hope I high roll, and if you don't, then you know, whatever. I don't think the support is there for Annihilate to like really work properly, but I think it's kind of cool. I gotta look at the cards in the deck and that I have right now and adjust some stuff, because I have Annihilate. Having 2 stage 3s and 2 stage 2s and 2 stage 1s is like a lot of cards. Like that's 10 cards right there. That's half your deck. And then I also have Tyrogue. If you haven't played in a while, you've also missed that they introduced babies, so a bunch of cards with 0 cost attacks. And Tyrogue is like 20 damage for no energy. So going first, pretty good with him. Going first with Chingling, pretty good because it's 10 damage and your opponent can't use item cards. There's some babies like Magby and Pichu and Mantike that give energy to a basic Pokemon on your bench for free. So there's a lot of really good going first cards now. Now it's really split on like this is a good going first deck and this is a good going second deck. And like if you don't draw properly or you get the wrong coin flip, it can feel really bad, but it's not so much like whoever goes second wins now. That was always an oversimplification, but yeah, it was like 80% of the decks wanted to go second. Like, Pikachu going second was, like, pretty close to unbeatable. Like, there's not much you could do. Mewtwo going first was okay, because on the first turn you got to put energy down, you could have... No, it wasn't, because there was no rare candy at the time. Mewtwo going... If you were to take the original Mewtwo deck, going first would be pretty good now, because you could get Gardevoir out on your second turn. Giratina going first is okay. Yeah, because he makes his own energy. So it's basically turn 1, you put an energy on your guy. Turn 2, they go. Turn 3, you put 2 more energy on your guy. Turn 4, they have their second energy up. And then turn 5, you have 4 energy on your Giratina. You're doing 130 damage. Not too bad. A little bit slow now. But when it came out, that shit was super obnoxious. It's so funny how, like, obnoxious Giratina Darkrai was for so long. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just fucking around. I'm kind of sad the YouTube bit didn't work as well as I wanted it to. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Not a whole lot you can do. I might call it soon, like just as a short night. Because like I said, I am kind of gassing myself out, not being able to breathe doing this. Man. But yeah, we made a stupid guy. I wasn't even paying attention. Anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out, watching me open the big-ass box. We're back tomorrow with an actual tournament. I'll have more energy then. I enjoyed talking, though. I had fun hanging out. It's just, you know, a little bit low energy tonight, so it feels really a lot more difficult to, like, be on than normal tonight. I think tomorrow will be a lot better. I don't think I, like, failed, but, like, I could tell when I was talking through the video idea. I was, like, repeating myself, and, like, the windswept thing just... I was like, what the fuck was I saying? I was just, like, I was getting tripped up, man. But yeah, tomorrow we got some tournament stuff happening. Super excited. I will see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Same as it ever was. Very excited to get the DXBL on the road and maybe in the rearview mirror so we can start working on more Deluxe Cup promo stuff. Deluxe Cup, like I said, it's usually the biggest tournament of the year. Right now, we don't have many people entered, but it's because, you know, it's a new format and there's a mod. So I think I might allow people to enter a second monster if we want it to be a little bit bigger. I didn't expect it to be as small as it is. Like, I'm really surprised it has as few people entered. It's like 25 or something right now. But, yeah, I think I might allow people to enter a second one. I know it's going to fill up by the end of the month, but I'll make a judgment call in, like, the next 2 weeks. Or next week and a half or so. Who are we raiding? Let's see. Who's streaming right now? Mar. We're always raiding Mar, but there's a reason for it. He's a cool dude. Slam? Slamantha's playing. Yeah, let's raid Slam. Samantha, not playing Digimon, but friend of the channel. Very cool peeps. Hope you guys had some fun. Hope you guys liked looking at the pack opening. Pretty cool to see some of the cards. Nothing too crazy, but, you know, Almost forgot about it. I've been trying to promote it. I haven't been doing a super good job, though. That's on me. Part of it's on me being burnt out on Monster Rancher a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited for the DXBL to close up. I'm excited to do the Deluxe Cup. And then I'm really only worried about videos for a little bit. But yeah, I will see you guys. Hope you had a fantastic time. Goodbye.